I started what a lot of people considered to be the first ever, one of the first ever metal specialty radio shows on commercial radio on DHA. It's called Metal Mania, and this is back in '83 when I started it. So here I am, I've got all this stuff going on. I've got, I'm a kid and I'm doing a radio show and I'm working in a record store. I'm doing freelance writing and I'm just consumed with music. Forget about college, forget about school. I was on my path, I was on my mission. And I ended up, would always go down to Old Bridge or New Brunswick, and I would go to see this guy named Johnny Z, who had a store called Rock and Roll Heaven. It moved around to a few different locations. And I would go, and Johnny had all the cool imports and all the cool magazines, and I would go there, just buy cool stuff. And then I got the radio show, and I started playing some of the stuff I was buying on the show, which were a lot of imports and things. And he quickly found out that when I was playing it, he'd start selling more of it. So one day I went into the flea market, and he's like, here, take this, take this. He's handing me records. And I was like, John, I don't have the money for all this. He goes, no, just take it. Because he was realizing the return would be great once I played it. Nobody else was playing this stuff on the radio. And one day I'm doing my show at DHA. I'm only not even a year into doing this metal show. I'm still very uneasy being on the air. And he came and knocked on the door in the middle of the night when I'm doing this show. And I looked at through the curtain. I'm like, the hell's Johnny Z doing here? And he comes in, he goes, hey, I gotta ask you if you can help me with something. I go, John, I'm in the middle of doing a show. What are you doing? You just gotta let me in. And he came in, he had this record under his arm in a bag. And he goes, you gotta play this band for me. And I said, Johnny, I mean, leave it, I'll check it out. And he goes, no, I can't leave until I know somebody played this band on the radio. This is really important to me. I'm trying to start a record company. Blah, blah. What is it? He pulls out the record. It's the first Metallica record. And he said, I'm putting everything on this band, and no one even understands the music. No one will play it. Nobody, I need a chance. I need a break. I need to be able to tell him I got it played. So that night I played the song for him while he was sitting there. Took the record. He wrote on the cover, Ed, you were the first. Thank you, John Z. I still have it. And he left. And as he left, he said to me, if I ever get this band to break and this record company to break, I'm going to hire you to work for me. 3 years later, he called me. The band had taken off, and he hired me to eventually be the vice president of his company, Megaforce Records. And then I went and started signing bands, one of which was from New Jersey. So it's just been this odyssey that has been very much centered in the state of New Jersey, of all these things that I kind of went around and established and very much stayed true to, and kept doing right till this day. And that's really, in a nutshell, my history. Being a lifelong New Jersey guy, I'm always going to give an extra look or consideration to stuff from the state, just because it's Jersey. It's it's in your blood. It's like, oh, cool, they're local guys. I'll check them out. My Chemical Romance, whatever it is. There's always going to be that inherent interest for me from that stuff that's from my home state. And, being that we're in the shadow of New York City and all that, I always kind of pull for those guys a little bit.